Hey guys, Ryan here at Signature Edits, and this is a rundown of our newest preset pack, Moody Vibes. Are you ready? Let's jump into it. So here I have probably 10 photos or so that I am just going to show you from a range of different settings, indoors, outdoors, sunny day, cloudy day. We're going to look at exactly what's contained in the Moody Vibes pack and how it translates across a variety of different situations. So it's called Moody Vibes because it's meant to be dark and moody, and it's also meant to be vibey. So when you have darker images, which are overcast, softer light, it's going to be moody, that darker look. When you have a brighter image that is more sunshine and good times, we're thinking more the vibey end of the spectrum. So let's walk through and just look at the presets. Inside we have four main looks. We've got a warm, a cold, a vintage, which has more of a kind of magenta vibe in it, and then an earthy, which is my personal favorite. I use this thing on absolutely everything. All right, so I'm just going to go through here and show you a few different photos and how easy it is. So go through, and I can just look at my warm, my cold, my vintage, and my earthy. So let's go with the vintage for this one. And we also have four variations of that. So let's say that I don't want to have just the kind of plain old. I want to add even more moodiness and vibiness. I can go to a fade variation of all four of those. So I've got a warm fade, cold fade, vintage fade, and earthy fade, as well as two black and white options. So black and white, and then a faded black and white. So let's stick with the earthy fade. I really like that. And then I'm going to grab a little graduated filter here. And let's go just add some texture here in the cactus. Drag that up like that. And I can adjust the intensity of this brush, which is included in the pack, by the way. All the Signature Edit packs come with these adjustment brushes included as part of your workflow, as well as some export presets. So you've got a full Lightroom export workflow situation going on. So obviously that is way too high. We're going to dial that back. Great. And then add a little bit of exposure on that end, just to brighten up the cactus. Perfect. Just like that. Let's keep going. So you can see that these really give a nice look on the skin. That's what we are most concerned with, is skin and the greens, because those are the things that we feel really makes for a powerful photo and is what gives you that vintage kind of vibey, moody look anyways. So there's the earthy fade, and there is without, warm, cold, vintage, earthy. And your white balance and your exposure are going to play into this. So you need to make sure that those are set appropriately. If you're finding that you're not getting the results you want, first check that. Here's our earthy, vintage, cold, and warm. So all these are looking a little blue, which means I probably need to warm this image up a little bit. This is a really cool spot here near LA. So there's our vintage fade, earthy fade, cold fade, and warm fade. I like the warm fade or the earthy fade myself, so we're going to stick with that. And it's really quick. You just select your preset, decide which one you like the most, adjust your exposure, and move on. This is the sand dunes outside of LA. These images, by the way, are complimentary of the incredible Zach Sorensen. He's an awesome photographer based here in OC. You can check out his Insta here. So again, here's our raw image, and then our different variations. My eye is always drawn towards the earthy, although in this one I really like the vintage as well. So there's our raw, and with our presets applied. Now me myself, because I'm so partial to the earthy or the warm, I tend to just apply those on import. It saves me a lot of time because I know what I'm going to like, but we included the variations so that you can experiment yourself. This is up in Yosemite. If you want to mask out the sky, here's a quick trick. Just go to 1/16, so you're zoomed way out. Make your brush really big. Select Auto Mask, and then click once on the sky. Press O to see your mask. And yes, just like that, one click Auto Mask has found everything. So we're going to press O, zoom this back in, and use our sky brush here. Water sky pop. Just add a little bit of saturation. Bring the exposure down very slightly. And give us a deeper, bluer sky. So here's before, and here's after. Great, so here's how it looks on portraits. You'll see that the skin stays really nice and desaturated. And again, that earthy is just singing. I love it. I love it a lot. And now this last one is an example of the perfect image for the Moody Vibes pack. If you have a lot of overcast stuff or you like to shoot darker, moodier, vibier images, this is an example of a dark, moody, vibey image. Now, the reason I included these others is because it still looks great if you're shooting in the sun and it's bright and whatever. But if you happen to have moodier, darker images, this is what you can expect. Everything just looks so good. And here's the black and white. And lastly, what we've included in here as well are 8 variations. So we've got our warm, cold, vintage, and earthy, as well as with the fades, and then just denoise versions of all of them. So if you're shooting somewhere and it's higher ISO, we've got some noise reduction happening here, as well as some other stuff just to make it respond a little better to low light and high ISO situations. So that is a rundown of the Moody Vibes pack. In addition to receiving these presets, we also include our Signature Edits workflow presets. So you receive all of these adjustment layer presets as well as export presets. So you are good to go. You've got a total Lightroom workflow situation. Plus, whether you're using Lightroom Classic or Lightroom CC or Lightroom Mobile, your presets will work across the board. We now support presets with all 3 of those platforms. So you can use them on the go or on your computer. It's up to you. We're confident you're going to love it because we spent a lot of time, a lot of love putting this together for you. Give it a try. If you don't like it, you get your money back. All right? Enjoy.